Uza magai cheki, hata vile nateteanga Ruto bana, huyu mjamaa ameanza kutuingia baka Indies Sasa ameanza kuingilia mambo ya tumbako bana, anasema huwezi uza online. Manze huyu mjamaa ameanza kutuingilia baka kwa kusmoke bana, hataki tukue high. Huyu mjamaa sijui rada yake ni gani, ndo hapo nakwambiaje, mtu anasema tutam hapo wewe. Wewe nani wewe mtu wa tutam wewe. Cheki tabuski hiyo ufala iko hapo, alafu niambie hiyo ni law gani ameanza kuweka? Ati huwezi uza online. Lazima ukuwe na base lazima ikuwe na license ya kuuza oris. Si ati oris peke yake. Vitu zote ziko na nini? Vitu zote ziko na flavor. Anataka tutumie tumbako peke yake. Kila kitu iko na flavor na cancel. Oris, shisha bana. Mjamaa hataki hata tukue hai tu sawa zile shit anatufanyia. Hataki zishike tumsahau. Anajua tu zinaweza shika siku ya election tumweke ndani tena. Sasa ameanza kutuingililia. Mwambie zikikosa kushika tukue soba tutamtoa mbio mbaya sana. Ni mbaya.
From next month, if you're found with Oris vape or flavored cigarettes, you'll be fined 1 million or get 2 years in prison. And I don't know what is the government's obsession with blind overregulation on almost everything. So you guys have definitely already heard about a proposed tightened ban on shisha. And it is not just shisha, it gets worse. And this is coming from a certain bill that is called the Tobacco Amendment Bill of 2024 that is set to be passed this month. And it has very bad provisions that hurt the economy. And I will show you. The bill is proposing an amendment starting with Section 2 to expand the definition of tobacco products and the definition of smoking. So listen to this. So the definition of smoking will be expanded to mean not just inhaling or exhaling smoking products, but merely holding any smoking products. And the definition of tobacco will not just mean things to do with tobacco leaves or tobacco extracts, but everything that has nicotine formulation, even if it is synthetics, such as the vapes that I'm talking about. So under Section 14J, that is where now the banning is now coming in place. So Section 14J wants to ban every flavored nicotine or tobacco products in the country. So I'm talking about flavored cigarettes, flavored shisha, flavored vapes, flavored nicotine pouch, flavored e-cigarettes, you name it all. So the section, if you read the bill, the section states that it prohibits tobacco and nicotine products that have a characterizing flavor, the strawberries, the mint in most of these products. So they just want people to take tobacco in its pure form, just like in the olden days. So there's also an issue of how you sell these products. So in Section 19A of the amendment, they propose that you will get 3 years in prison or a fine of almost 500,000 if you are found selling tobacco or nicotine products online. So they do not want the online sale of any nicotine products. So they have basically banned the online sale and even things to do with hawking or selling any kind of nicotine products in your vehicle. So they will only want you to have a physical location or a physical shop as part of the compliance in this amendment bill. So the part that I am definitely most concerned about, which is very economical, is the amendment that is going to be proposed to Section 20A of the bill. So this amendment comes after small traders and distributors. Section 20A mandates that every small trader must have a special operating license from the county government, on top of other tens of permits that these businesses have. So what is ridiculous is that the special operating license is for a fixed location, meaning that if you have the license, you will only sell at that one shop. So you can't carry the product and sell it anywhere else. So if you want to sell it in another place outside your shop, you will have to get another operating license. And on top of that operating license from the county government, you must register with the Ministry of Health for you to get the authority to sell any nicotine products. So if you are registered with the Ministry of Health, that is the only time you'll be compliant with this bill. And if you are not registered with the Ministry of Health to get the authority to sell these nicotine products, you will be fined 3 million or 3 years in prison. So another part is Section 14. which provides that the same ministry that is going to be giving authority is going to be also having a list of approved products. So there are certain products that they're going to select that is going to be sold in the country, and others are not going to be sold in the country. So if you are going to be found with unapproved products, you will get a fine of 3 million or 3 years in prison again. And I know there are a lot of people who don't smoke, or they just do it occasionally while having fun, but you need to understand that the broad tobacco industry generates a lot of revenue for this country. I'm talking about over 30 billion annually for Kenya. So that revenue can still be increased to even 100 billion through this new emerging nicotine economy, where we can produce most of the products instead of importing them. I've always stated that this banning, over regulation and over licensing of business and manufacturing in Kenya does not do any good to our economy. Right now, if you go to Uganda, a packet of cigarette will cost you 80 shillings. But if you come to Kenya, the same packet of cigarette will cost you over 700 shillings. And it is because of this over licensing and over regulation of most of the products that we have. So what happens, most of these products that are cheaper in other countries are now smuggled into the country. So you find out that the government is losing more on most of these products, instead of the government finding new ways of being able to tap into this new economy. So like right now, I've talked about the emerging new economy of nicotine. A lot of vapes, a lot of e-cigarettes, a lot of flavored nicotine products are all imported into the country or are coming from neighboring countries. So instead of the government tapping into that economic sector, they decide to now ban and overregulate most of these sectors that we're having. So this continues to hurt our economy more. Because one thing about the law and regulation, it will never entirely regulate human behavior. And one thing about this bill, the day of public participation is going to be on the same day whereby we're going to be having the Gen Z commemoration, or the alleged protest that is going to be there. So they want to pass the bill as quick as possible together with other bills to do participation, so that most of these punitive bills also pass on the same day. So I want also Kenyans to take some time, read that bill or Google about the bill and know the implications of such kind of a bill, because a fine of over 3 million or staying in prison for over 3 years is something that is very detrimental.
Ruto tuhurumie please, achana na sisi ama tukuchangie uondoke. Cause afungue pay bill basi.